This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for our next installment of My Journey to Construction here with BYF from Indiana and with one of our great ambassadors. I'm going to turn it over to Kirsten to get us started and let us know a little bit about who she is and what she does.
Hi, Matthew. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited today to tell you, all you students, a little bit about what my journey's been to the construction industry, what I enjoy most about it, and why I think it's a good pathway that students should consider. So a little bit first, just about myself and my background. I'm from the Indianapolis area. I'm a Center Grove High School graduate. Graduated then from Purdue in 2011 as a civil engineer. And went to work for a general contractor, immediately called Reith Riley Construction. Since then, I've done some field work where I've had hands-on, testing with asphalt and getting to design it. And then I also worked in a consulting firm doing transportation design. My job now, I work for the Asphalt Pavement Association of Indiana. We're known as APAI. And we are an association, so we represent all of the general contractors and then other companies that do work in our state related to building and constructing asphalt roadways. So anyone that crushes rock, to the companies that provide equipment, to the companies that design the roads. So we basically represent our contractor members when we meet with the Department of Transportation. And really our goal is making sure that we're building quality roads that are going to last as long as possible. Make sure that you all aren't having to drive through potholes on your way to school and on your way to work. And make sure that we can do that for the best value for the Indiana taxpayer. So it's a little bit about my journey and my role currently at APAI.
Awesome. To get us started, will you tell us about why you chose construction as an industry?
Yeah, so I probably am like most. I don't know that when I was, 12 and 14 years old that I thought, wow, when I grow up, I want to work in the construction industry. I didn't have any family that I knew of or friends even that worked in construction. So I know a lot of times you'll see, family members or kids of parents who worked laborers or, were estimators or different things at their company. That wasn't the case for me. My dad was an engineer and I knew I wanted to study engineering. So when I got to Purdue, I chose civil because it seemed to be the best fit. It had a little bit of creativity with it, with being able to design things. I liked seeing that you could actually create something, like have a product that you would put work into and thought process and improve. And then I also thought it was really neat that a lot of what civil engineers do benefits the general public, right? So I think that, roadways, think of airports, the water that you get to your house, like everything that people use on a daily basis is likely designed and provided by a civil engineer. So that's why I chose it. And I kind of then from there lucked into the construction industry through an internship that I had as a freshman. I loved the people, I loved the hands-on work. I liked the combination of being able to work outside some of the time while also being in the office. So it just was a really good fit for me and I've stuck with it now going on about 10 years.
Well, that sounds really great. What would you say is your favorite part about being a civil engineer and your job right now with APAI? And while you're answering that, I'm going to shut my camera off so the students can focus on you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I really like the people in this industry. That's my favorite part. It's some of the hardest working people I've ever met. Honest people, family oriented industry. It's hard work and sometimes long hours. But at the end of the day, when you come to work, you get to work with amazing people. You're part of a family. You all have one common goal. And so I really enjoy the people that I've gotten to know through this industry, and I've made some really good, colleagues that have become great friends.
Yeah, the folks that we work with are pretty incredible. You said that right out of college you were worked for a GC. Before that, though, what was your very first job? Where'd you get your start in employment?
Yeah, so I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school. That was my kind of like two nights a week, first experience having a real job. I mean, other than, babysitting and some of those other things, but
Sure. I
yeah,
worked
it's
at
really
Dairy
only
Queen.
the other job I've had that hasn't been, in engineering. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I worked at Dairy Queen, so I totally understand. Before I go off
yeah,
video
I
again,
read I read a
sorry, go ahead.
statistic one time that I think like 10% of the United States population has worked at a McDonald's at some point in their lifetime. So they're
That's
everywhere,
awesome.
right?
Absolutely, they are. Tell us a little bit more about your high school experience. What were you like? What did you get involved in? What did you do?
I would say it was, fairly typical. I was in the marching band, so did a lot of band stuff. I, grew up playing piano, and actually at one point, pretty early on, my high school years, I thought I was gonna go on and major in some kind of piano performance or music thing, and really didn't see what that pathway would lead to me for like a long-term career or something that was sustainable. So that's when I made the choice to focus a little bit more on my engineering classes and academics and all those. But I did play volleyball, just kind of a variety of balancing extracurriculars and friendships and work, but then also trying to remain focused on my studies.
For sure. When you were in high school, did you get any certificates or any credentials related to the construction industry? And whether you did or didn't, what would you recommend for today's high school students?
So when I was in high school, which was 2003 through 2007, that was really when all of these robotics and engineering courses and kind of like the focused pathways were really just first starting to become a thing. So I didn't take any of those courses. I really didn't have anything that was engineering specific in my high school years. I really just try to diversify my background. So basic physics and chemistry and math, math courses, as much of that as I could have all the way through calculus. Um, so I'd say more of like a academic coursework and not so much the hands-on. And gosh, I wish I would have had the opportunity to do more of that. What I get to see, some of the kids get to do today, I think is really cool and helps them know if a career in something like engineering or in construction would be a good fit for them. It worked out for me, but I didn't have any of that experience in high school. I wish I could have. So no, I didn't have any certifications. I didn't graduate with any college credit other than I had an AP class where I tested out of a calculus course. That was it. So I came into college really starting from square one, and then graduated and was still able to graduate in 4 years.
Awesome. Well, as you think about the engineering and the math and the physics that you took, what else did you learn in high school? What other skills were helpful for you to learn, both in high school and maybe through college as well, that you apply every day in your work at APAI?
Yeah, certainly. So I think sometimes people or colleagues I'll talk to that are engineers, they think, well, I like math and science, and really that's all that matters because I'm a technical person and I do engineering day in and day out. But what students don't realize is that in my job and in just about every job out there, the majority of your time is spent communicating, whether that be by email, giving presentations, attending meetings. It's all communication based. So while I did focus on a lot of the math and science, like the typical STEM courses while I was in high school, I also, took AP English, and I, took like an advanced history course, and I took speech class, believe it or not. And I think some of those types of courses, it makes you really balanced. So looking back, one of the things that I think was a great choice was I didn't go all in and say, this is what I want to be, and I'm only going to take these very intense, technical science courses. I think, a broad, balanced high school education is what's going to prepare you, for the future as best as anything.
Yeah, I think that it's really neat to hear that it wasn't just about the technical skills. There's a lot of other pieces there that can be helpful. I'm going to go off camera again for this next answer, but we'd love to hear from you. Why do you think someone should join the industry? Why do you think it's important that students think about joining construction today?
So what I love the best about the construction industry is you can come in, you can do something like engineering, get a 4-year degree and start in a little bit more of a management position. Or if you want to, if you like the hands-on, if you're really not into the whole idea of going to college, if you're, don't have the means or you don't want to amass the amount of debt that students are graduating with these days, I think construction can be a fantastic choice. I know specifically at a couple of our member companies, E&B Paving as an example, they have a couple of senior vice presidents who started as laborers in the field and as truck drivers, right? So these are people that had, came out of high school shovel in hand, and 20, 30 years later, they're at in a senior position of a very, very large company. And I think that just goes to show the type of opportunity for advancement, the type of opportunity that you can have if you want to work hard, if you are dedicated, if you're reliable, that you can have in our industry. So, man, there's so many reasons why I think construction's a great choice. But I think that opportunity for advancement is one of the biggest.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time so far. We're about to wrap up, but last question, just a chance for you to share anything else you would like for a high school student to know about the industry. What's kind of one parting thought you'd like to leave?
Yeah, I think I can't do this video without mentioning Women of Asphalt, which is a national organization that I'm a board member for. When you think of construction, you know, a lot of times you think of that being predominantly male industry, and it is. It's about, I think our industry is about 93% male, and we're really making it a focus to attract women to our workforce, to show that it can be balanced with raising a family and doing all sorts of, thing like having a work-life balance is definitely possible in our industry. So Women of Asphalt is something I'm really excited about. It's something that I'm proud to be a part of. And I certainly, in the years ahead would like to see more women, consider this as an industry or career choice, and get as much satisfaction in working in this industry as what I have, because it's something that means a lot. The asphalt industry, the construction industry is a big part of my life, and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything any different than what I am.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much again for your time today. Kirsten from APAI, thank you for spending the time with us. Thanks for letting us know about civil engineering and civil construction and the Women of Asphalt and everything that you're doing. Everyone else, please keep coming back to this channel and looking for more interviews. And from now until then, we just hope you have a great day. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
This conference will now be